10 years from now, you might regret how you handled money today, not because you didn't earn enough, but because nobody taught you these 5 rules. Most people learn them when they're already 40. You're about to learn them in the next 12 minutes. The dangerous thing about money is you can make the same mistake for 20 years without realizing it. By the time you finally understand what went wrong, the lost time can't be bought back, no matter how much you earn afterward. And here's the first rule, the one that changes everything. You don't build wealth with what you earn. You build it with what you keep. Rule number 1, pay yourself first. Most people do it backwards. Paycheck lands, then rent, bills, groceries, fun money all get paid first. Whatever's left, if anything, gets saved. For a lot of people, that number ends up being close to 0. Now flip it. The moment your paycheck lands, automatically move a percentage into savings and investing. 10%, 15, 20, whatever your situation allows. What matters is that it happens before you start spending, not after. Let's do the math on this. On a $50,000 salary, 20% is $10,000 a year. Invested at an average 8% annual return for 30 years, that grows to roughly $1.1 million. That assumes consistent yearly contributions and an average 8% return. Actual results will vary, but the principle holds either way. For many people, waiting to save whatever's left means saving far less than they intended. Rule number 2, every single dollar needs a job. If a dollar enters your account with no purpose, it will find its own purpose, and it's almost never the one you would have chosen for it. This means every dollar gets planned before it even arrives. Bills, savings, investing, fun. Not a restrictive budget, just a clear plan that tells your money exactly where to go instead of letting it wander. For a lot of people, hundreds of dollars quietly disappear every month through small, unplanned purchases they never consciously decided to make. It's not one big mistake, it's dozens of tiny, invisible ones. $250 a month invested for 20 years at 8% becomes roughly $147,000. That's not a coffee habit. That's a car paid in cash. Rule number 3, be careful borrowing for things that lose value. The question isn't whether debt is always bad, it's what the debt is actually buying you and what that thing is likely to be worth later. Take young Derek. He finances a $30,000 car at 6% over 5 years. By the time it's paid off, he spent almost $35,000 on a car now worth around $12,000. Between the interest and the depreciation, roughly $23,000 of that spending never became lasting wealth. It simply financed the experience of driving something new for a little while. Debt can sometimes help you buy an asset, grow a business, or increase your earning power, but only if the numbers actually work. Debt isn't good just because someone calls it good debt. It's good when it creates more value than it costs. Rule number 4, your salary has a ceiling. Your skills do not. This single idea separates people who stay stuck from people who keep climbing year after year. A salary is usually tied to one role, one employer, and ultimately the amount of time you can trade for money. There's only so much a title can pay, no matter how many extra hours go in. A real sellable skill travels with you. It can be sold to one employer or 10 clients. It can build a side income, a freelance business, or eventually replace the job entirely. Older Derek spent 1 year learning a skill on the side, nights and weekends. Nothing dramatic. Within 2 years, it brought in an extra $15,000 a year, completely separate from his job. $15,000 extra dollars a year, invested consistently for 25 years, could grow to more than $1 million at an assumed 8% return. A skill built in spare evenings quietly became a fortune. And now we get to the rule that explains why someone earning $70,000 can sometimes be wealthier than someone earning $150,000. Rule number 5. Your net worth matters more than your income. Imagine 2 people. One earns $150,000 a year, but spends most of it on a big house, new cars, and constant upgrades. The other earns $70,000, keeps lifestyle inflation in check, and invests consistently. 10 years later, the high earner has a surprisingly small amount of wealth compared to what he's earned, because most of his cash flow went toward lifestyle and debt payments. The modest earner has quietly built a net worth over $300,000. Income is what you're paid. Net worth is what you actually own once every debt is subtracted. Wealth that gets seen is often spent. Wealth that gets built is often invisible. Quick recap before we wrap this up. Rule 1. Keep money first. Rule 2. Give money a job. Rule 3. Question debt. Rule 4. Build skills. Rule 5. Track wealth, not income. You don't need to be rich to start using these rules. In fact, that's exactly why they matter. The earlier you use them, the more time they have to work in your favor. Pick just one rule right now, not all 5. Maybe it's setting up an automatic transfer the day your paycheck lands. Maybe it's finally tracking where your money actually goes for 1 week. Small, consistent action always beats a perfect plan that never starts. Derek didn't build wealth because he understood everything perfectly. He built it because he started, and he didn't stop. 10 years from now, you'll be a certain age no matter what you decide today. The only real question is whether these 5 rules were quietly working in your favor the entire time. The people who made it financially rarely had some dramatic secret. They just learned these rules earlier than everyone else and gave them enough time to actually work. You just learned them today. That already puts you ahead of where you were 12 minutes ago and ahead of most people who never bother to ask these questions at all. So don't let this be another video you watched and forgot. Pick one rule, apply it this week. 10 years from now, you won't wish you'd learned this earlier, because today, you did. If you want more money lessons nobody teaches you until it's too late, subscribe to Levels Nobody Sees and start with just one rule this week.